you all recall, we had covered a story involving Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, and how she had essentially kept a whistleblower complaint from someone who works in intelligence from Congress. Now, Congress was supposed to be privy to this whistleblower complaint.
All right, folks, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into a story that screams corruption louder than a broken siren at a billionaire's yacht party. We're talking about Tulsi Gabbard, a whistleblower complaint, and none other than Jared Kushner. Yes, that Jared Kushner. It's a tangled web of alleged cover-ups, geopolitical moves, and enough shady dealings to make a mob boss blush. Let's roll the tape and see what fresh hell our public servants have been up to.
8 months ago when it was filed, but Tulsi Gabbard instead decided to meet with Susie Wiles, who of course is Trump's chief of staff, and after that meeting decided to keep that whistleblower complaint locked up for 8 months. And it wasn't until recently that we even found out that a whistleblower complaint existed. It does have to do with Tulsi Gabbard. However, we now have a little more clarity on who else it is about, okay? So the whistleblower complaint apparently has to do with two foreign nationals who were engaging in a conversation, and through the course of that conversation, were discussing Jared Kushner. As the Wall Street Journal reports—
Hold on, wait a minute. Tulsi Gabbard, the supposed anti-war champion, the one who rode a wave of progressive sentiment, is now allegedly cozying up with Trump's cronies and hiding whistleblower complaints for 8 months? What in the pivotal freaking political hell is going on here? This isn't just a misstep. It's a full-blown betrayal of anyone who ever believed her rhetoric. It's like finding out your favorite vegan chef secretly owns a factory farm. The optics are terrible, but the implications are even worse. Hiding information that Congress is supposed to be privy to? That sounds less like a maverick and more like a willing participant in the swamp she claims to drain. You know what? The mask is off, folks, and it's not a pretty sight so far.
at least part of that conversation had to do with Kushner and Iran. Now, we don't know the identities of the foreign nationals. We also do not know where these foreign nationals are from, which nation states they're from. And we also don't know the details of the conversation. Like, we know that they were talking about Jared Kushner. In fact, the fact that they were talking about Jared Kushner is the reason why Tulsi Gabbard allegedly decided to meet with Susie Wiles before hiding the whistleblower complaint from Congress, allegedly. But we know Iran is involved, Kushner is involved. We have two foreign nationals, but we don't know the full details about what they were discussing or the nature of the discussion. Were they two foreign nationals who were being very critical of how Kushner is handling the situation in the Middle East? Was it two foreign nationals who were discussing Kushner profiting off of his volunteer role in the Trump administration and how he is using these conflicts abroad for his own financial purposes? I have no idea. You have no idea. No one knows, because we have not been made privy to the details of that whistleblower complaint. But after hiding it from Congress for 8 months, Tulsi Gabbard finally provided a heavily redacted version, and now members of Congress are just outraged by it, and they feel that there should be investigations into this and that they should have a little more clarity on what was redacted and why it was redacted. But Cenk, before I give you more details, what do you think?
Yeah, I want to give one detail here. Towards the end of the Wall Street Journal story, they say a second allegation in the complaint alleges that the NSA's General Counsel's office failed to report a potential crime to the Justice Department that was raised by the content of the intercepted conversation and did so for political purposes. So pretty serious. There's a crime involved here, and apparently it's about Jared Kushner. And so Tulsi Gabbard looks like, we say alleged, sure, alleged, but it looks like she most certainly hit it. I mean, why didn't she?
She did.
Yeah, there's pretty much no question she hit it. What did Jared Kushner do? There's plenty of questions about that. We don't know, it's redacted. But I do have a educated guess on it. So let me know when you want me to tell you that, Anna.
No, go ahead, I'm ready to hear it.
Yeah, So look, guys, there's reporting earlier in the first term of the Trump administration that Jared Kushner worked with Mohammed bin Salman, and that if you remember, his security clearance was taken away, and then that became a bit of a scandal. And why is he, our envoy to the Middle East and negotiating with the Arab states and Israel and all this stuff when he didn't even have security clearance? And at the time, the story was, and this is allegations, we don't know for sure, that Kushner had told Mohammed bin Salman, our allies in the Saudi government and in the Saudi royalty, and that Salman then rounded them up and basically used that as leverage against them. But some were killed, some were kidnapped, and then returned once Salman had taken enough power and money from them. So if he sold out our spies or our intelligence or our contacts in Saudi Arabia, that would be a massive, massive crime and led to the deaths of people.
Sorry, folks, I had to stop it right there. Let that sink in for a second. Massive, massive crime that led to the deaths of people. We're not talking about a parking ticket here. We're talking about alleged actions by a White House insider that could have directly resulted in human lives being lost. This isn't just borderline treason. It sounds like treason with a capital T and a body count. And you know what? Tell me this. Where's the outrage? Where's the accountability? It's like these people live in a different legal universe where the rules don't apply to them at all. They play a real-life game of Monopoly with actual lives and national security, all while the rest of us are told to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. It's infuriating. It truly, truly is. But you know what the sad part is? It's not surprising given the caliber of characters we're dealing with here nowadays.
If, that Salman did kill people based on information he did get about those people. Now, we don't know that Jared Kushner gave it to him for sure. And if it's that level of crime, Anna, that's why Gabbard would hide it, because that's borderline treason. And of course, if you remember, right after the first term was over, Jared Kushner got $2 billion from the Saudis into his investment vehicle.
So his business deals and how he profits off of, the White House and Saudi Arabia certainly plays into that. That could be it. But what we're missing in your theory is how Iran was involved, right? Because part of the discussion, the Wall Street Journal says at least part of the discussion, which makes me think the focus of the discussion likely was Iran. So what is that about, right? Like, how does Iran play a role in this?
Yeah, so I don't know either. And so it's not just the Israelis that hate Iran. The Saudis also hate Iran.
That's true. That's
and the
true.
Saudis are Sunni and the Iranians are Shia. And they've had conflicts against one another through proxies in the Middle East. So, look,
true.
if it was just Jared Kushner, just one more thing, Anna, just talking about, hey, can we try to start a war with Iran? That's not a crime. That's pretty much what all of Congress is doing and Trump is doing and the entire Israeli lobby is doing. It has to be an actual crime because that's what they're talking about here. And apparently a very, very serious one. And the people that have looked at the documents say, oh boy, yeah, the charges are very serious. So we'll see, but right now we don't know for sure. I'm just telling you that earlier reporting because it is about the Middle East, it is about Jared Kushner, and so we wonder if that was correct.
Yeah, and look, the thing about Jared Kushner that's maddening is, okay, he's not an elected member of our government, but he's also not an official appointee of President Trump's. Yet he is front and center in the most important foreign policy issues of our time. Why is he the one who is engaging in so-called negotiations? I don't trust this guy. Negotiations when it comes to Iran and whether or not we go to war, right? Like constantly meeting with the Israelis and then pretending like he and Steve Witkoff are gonna meet with the Iranians in good faith to pen a new nuclear deal. These are not people who have any interest in peace. These are people who look at the federal government and how they can exploit, their access to it for their own purposes. And they've already made a tremendous amount of money doing so. And who gets to suffer with their involvement in these geopolitical issues? We do.
Yeah.
Jared Kushner is not interested in peace. That much is very clear. When that guy looks at the bloodshed and the absolute leveling of Gaza, and his main takeaway is, that's prime real estate. How can I profit off of this? How are you going to trust this guy? Oh, he's volunteering for the Trump administration. Isn't he such a great guy? He's volunteering his time. No, it's an investment for his own profitability. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And so shame on Tulsi Gabbard, who is a total wench, who pretends like she's anti-war, but I think it's abundantly clear that in this case, she is providing cover for bad actors who certainly want to go to war with Iran. And so I can't wait to learn the details about this stuff. She is just an ultimate scumbag. And I would be happy to admit I'm wrong if some way, somehow it is proven that no, she actually did this in an effort to prevent war with Iran, but I doubt it. Anyway, Final thoughts, Jake?
Yeah. Just Tulsi Gabbard's an utter fraud and a total sellout. It's not like she's like, oh, I agreed with the Republicans on one thing, or oh, I joined Trump because I'm anti-war. No, you're in favor of all the wars Trump started. You're a giant liar, and it's not 1 or 3 issues. You agree with him on everything, and now you're covering up Jared Kushner's crimes. You can't be a bigger sellout than that. So that she's super clear. Last thing is on Jared Kushner is, look, to Anna's point, he's looking to build condos in Gaza. Israel has 53% of it now. They'll probably start over there. They're going to build it on top of the dead Palestinian children. Jared Kushner has no soul. He's obviously one of the most immoral men I've ever seen. He's like a ghoul, a goblin. He goes around like he looks pale, like he needs more blood, and he's like, yes, now we will build luxury condos on top of the people we murdered.
Okay, that description of Kushner as a ghoul building condos on the top of the dead, it's dark, but honestly, it feels disturbingly accurate given his alleged track record. The man seems to view human suffering and geopolitical chaos not as tragedies, but as investment opportunities. It's the ultimate capitalist nightmare, profiting from destruction, then getting a $2 billion thank you note from the Saudis. This isn't just about being a savvy business acumen. It's about a blatant disregard for human decency and a transactional view of international relations that puts personal profits above all else. It's a kind of moral bankrupt behavior that reminds us exactly who benefits when the powerful operate in the shadows. Follow the money, indeed, because it always leads back to the same self-serving motives.
Like he's like a sick, depraved man. But I don't think in this case, I'd be surprised if it was about Israel. I think the Saudi one is much, much, much more likely to be the case, in my opinion. Why? Because always follow the money. I mean, you think the Saudis gave him $2 billion right after he left office because they thought he was the best investor they could find? No, I mean, use common sense. That's the most obvious payoff in human history. So I don't know what he did for the Saudis, but apparently they thought it was worth $2 billion.
So there you have it, folks. From alleged cover-ups by a person who supposedly says they're progressive to borderline treason by a profiteering son-in-law of the President of the United States, the swamp is clearly deeper and murkier than ever. The powerful continue to operate with impunity, and it's up to us to shine a light on their darkness. So tell me, what do you think about these allegations? Let us know in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe for more truth-telling, because if we don't demand accountability, who will? And as always, remember, stay woke. Stay woke.